In the days that followed her return to the palace, Princess Alara found herself consumed by thoughts of Lucas. Despite the grandeur surrounding her, her heart ached for the simplicity and freedom she had experienced in the marketplace. Meanwhile, Lucas struggled to comprehend the revelation that the person he had grown fond of was none other than the missing princess of Veronia. His days felt emptier without their conversations and laughter echoing through the streets. Unable to shake off his feelings, Lucas decided to seek answers. Determined, he made his way to the palace gates, hoping to gain entry and speak to the princess. However, gaining access to the heavily guarded palace proved to be a daunting task. Lucas attempted various approaches, from pleading with the guards to devising elaborate plans to sneak inside, but each effort ended in failure. Meanwhile, inside the palace, Alara grappled with guilt over the abrupt way she had left things with Lucas. Her heart yearned to explain and apologize for the secrecy, but royal protocol and security measures kept her confined to the palace grounds. One evening, as Alara gazed out of her window, she spotted a familiar figure outside the palace gates. It was Lucas, looking determined yet uncertain. Driven by a surge of hope and longing to set things right, Alara devised a plan of her own. She sought the help of a trusted servant to discreetly escort Lucas into the palace under the guise of a visiting dignitary from a distant land. As Lucas was brought into the grand halls of the palace, he was awestruck by its opulence. However, his focus remained on finding Alara and understanding the truth behind her secret. In a secluded garden, far from the prying eyes of the court, Alara and Lucas finally reunited. Emotions surged within them as they stood face to face once more. "I never meant to deceive you, Lucas. I cherish the moments we shared, but my duty to the kingdom compelled me to hide my identity," Alara confessed, her voice filled with regret. Lucas nodded understandingly.
"I never meant to deceive you, Lucas. I cherish the moments we shared, but my duty to the kingdom compelled me to hide my identity,"
Alara confessed, her voice filled with regret. Lucas nodded understandingly.
I couldn't believe it at first, but I missed you, Alara. I wanted to understand."
Their conversation flowed with a mix of heartfelt apologies, shared memories, and unspoken feelings. The barriers of status and protocol melted away as they spoke as equals, two souls drawn together by an unspoken bond. However, their reunion was short-lived. The sound of approaching footsteps signaled the arrival of palace guards, alerted by the breach in security. Knowing they had little time, Alara made a decision. "Lucas, I cannot ask you to stay, but I will always carry our moments with me. Please, remember that." With a heavy heart, Lucas nodded, realizing the impossibility of their love in the face of such vast differences in their worlds. As Lucas was escorted out of the palace, he carried with him the memories of their brief but profound connection. And Alara, watching from a distance, held on to the hope that their paths might cross again someday. In the quiet solitude of her chamber, Alara reflected on their reunion. Though circumstances had torn them apart once more, she found solace in the knowledge that their love had transcended the boundaries of royalty and commoner, if only for a fleeting moment. As the days passed, both Alara and Lucas carried the memory of their secret identity, a love that had blossomed against the odds, proving that sometimes, love knows no bounds, not even those set by a kingdom's walls. And in their hearts, they held on to the possibility of a future where love might triumph over the constraints of their worlds.